Welcome back to Second and Short. It is Monday, June 2nd, 2025. The MLB home run race is very entertaining and just keeps switching back and forth between Ohtani, Judge, Raleigh. No. He's a couple behind, but he's there.
He's like 2.
He's there. No, he's like 4. But nobody's really pulling away from the pack right now in that, but it's been very fun to watch. The NFL, unbelievably boring this weekend. Literally nothing. I have like 2 things, and then we're going to finish that list that we started last week. That's it. And then I know we don't really talk soccer on these episodes. Congrats to PSG for winning the Champions League final. Absolutely thrashed Inter 5-0 in the Champions League final. It's crazy, but they completed the treble, so shout out to PSG. And you know how last week we talked about the college football playoff format changing? Mm-hmm. I'm already seeing stuff about them trying to switch the format again. I don't think we can actually go a week without somebody proposing a new format. It doesn't make any sense. So we're going to talk about that at the end of the episode. But before we get into all that, this Wednesday, because it is June, starts our midweek content, and it is a banger. It is a banger to start things off. Sports Wavelength was the most fun game we have ever played here, and is, I think, the best that one of these games has turned out after the edit. I'm confident that it is going to be one of the most fun ones to watch and to play along with as well. So definitely stay tuned in for that. Comes out on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Turn on your YouTube post notifications. Subscribe, obviously, to do that because you don't want to miss any of this stuff. This game was so much fun. We got plenty more games coming for the rest of the month. We got things in the works for another baseball video kind of out and about. Obviously, Luke's Milk Mile will be happening.
We got to hurry up and get it done.
At some point, it's going to be, he's coming over here to record the podcast, and I'm going to be like, wait, no, we have to do the Milk Mile, and he's just going to run it through the neighborhood. Because I needed to happen.
It just keeps getting pushed back.
I know. At this point, I kind of just want to start making it worse and worse the more we push it back.
Yeah. For every week we push it back, it's another mile.
Yeah. And
another gallon of milk.
He goes up from skim, and it could end up at, like, buttermilk. A buttermilk gallon mile. Oh, my God. That would be crazy. But, yeah, we've got a lot of fun midweek content that may or may not include people throwing up in it coming for really the rest of the year, but specifically for the rest of the summer. And then we'll start up the college football show and a couple other things as well throughout the fall. This Tuesday, we've got Luke's Team of the Season coming out for the Premier League. So that'll be out on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So make sure you're following us there as well because you'll see clips from the games as well as that fun content that Luke's putting out for the Premier League. Today, we got the MLB Recap, some NFL news, that college football playoff stuff that we're talking about. Shouldn't be too crazy, but we did have a great weekend in the MLB, especially for pitching. Colin, how are you doing today?
Doing fabulous, Grayson. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's good.
Filmed 2 more fun games on Thursday after the podcast with me and Luke, so be on the lookout for those. Those were fun, but a little chaotic.
I think I already forgot what games we played.
Well, the first one was, I think it was MLB Feud.
Okay, yeah.
That one was fun. 21 Questions was interesting. It was fun, but it was a little, it showed how bad we are at working as a team. I think that is probably the best way to sum it up.
Yeah, it'll be better moving forward if we just keep it to like one sport at a time.
Probably.
Instead of any sport possible.
Yeah, well, you guys will see how it plays out in about 4 weeks' time. So be on the lookout for it because we have a couple of those videos banked, and then we'll kind of put together a couple more. I think maybe at the start of July, me and you are going to do our mid-season awards again for the MLB like we did last year. So looking forward to that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and get into the MLB recap. We're starting off with this Yankees-Dodgers series. Obviously, it was a big deal, World Series rematch. And the Yankees thought they were going to go out here, get some revenge.
Hell no.
They did not. They got smacked around. Game 1, an 8-5 loss. And I'm pretty sure during Game 1 is when the clip of Shohei Ohtani falling asleep in the dugout came out, which is very funny. And then Game 2, 18-2.
This was a bad one.
Yeah, 18-2 was rough. But it didn't change anything for Aaron Judge. He was still playing great. Game 1, 2 for 5 with a solo shot. Game 2, 3 for 5, 2 solo shots. Didn't change anything for him.
So he was the only one that produced runs for the Yankees.
Yeah, I think maybe Grisham might have had a good weekend. Maybe I think Goldschmidt hit a solo shot at some point. I know Belly had an 0 for 4 game in one of those two. Ethan, how's Sunday Night Baseball going for us right now?
Yankees are up 1-0.
Yankees are up 1-0.
I think they're in the top of the third or bottom second.
1-1 now.
Who homered for the Dodgers?
Go ahead and unmute, and you can give us the update. What do you got?
Please tell me there's a Pajes RBI single.
Tommy Edman homer.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Tommy Edman. A little bit of
tight.
Korean representation.
Best Korean baseball player to ever play.
Jason Dominguez singled the left.
Yeah, we got that one.
Yeah. On air. Yeah.
All right, cool. So 1-1 in Game 3 of that series, but obviously the Dodgers have already gotten the win in that series. And I talked about the home run race kind of in the intro to this episode, and it's just been outstanding. Every day it's a new guy taking the lead. So going into today, Ohtani and Cal Raleigh were tied at 22. Judge behind them at 21. You keep mentioning Schwarber when I bring this up. I believe he's at 19. And then what's crazy is that, they're all sitting here. Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge have both hit 3 home runs across Friday and Saturday this week. I don't know how they're doing this right now. I mean, Cal Raleigh, it's unbelievable. He hit another one today. Gave him the solo lead at 23. Judge and Ohtani obviously playing right now, so it could literally change while we speak. But Cal Raleigh, the first catcher in MLB history to reach 20 home runs before the end of May. Yeah. I thought it was pretty crazy that he was up there in the mix. I know he's a great player, but I thought it was crazy because catchers just don't really hit for power like that.
Yeah, no, that's insane to think of.
Yeah, because there's plenty of power hitting catchers in the history of the game, but Cal Raleigh making history himself. Other team making history, the Rockies. We know how bad they are. We get it. Okay, I just have a couple short things because we know how bad the season's been, but how about how bad of a start just to a game they could have had? Their leadoff hitter, Jordan Beck, on Saturday.
How is he their leadoff hitter, bro?
Don't ask. Don't ask me any questions about Rockies baseball. He's their leadoff hitter, though. He started off the game against the Mets, top of the first, strikes out on a pitch clock violation.
Oh.
I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Just shows you he doesn't need to be a leadoff hitter.
Yeah, and not only is it a bad start to that game, it's a bad season right now. They're playing so bad that their losing ways have officially moved them behind the Marlins for the worst winning percentage of an active franchise. They're literally the worst team. Right now, they're the worst team ever. And right now, in active franchises, they're the worst team ever. It's unbelievable. They have I think their winning percentage all time as a franchise is 450. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal.
You're telling me you get rid of Charlie Blackmon and this just shit hits the fan.
Yeah. Charlie Blackmon is just this is he knew
it was
something
coming.
was up. Yeah, Chuck Nasty knows what's up. 45.9% is their winning percentage as a franchise ever. That's so bad. And that moved them behind the Marlins. That's crazy. Speaking of bad starts, we'll talk about a good start. The Nationals, they know how to start a game. Against the Diamondbacks on Saturday, 9 runs before recording the first out of the game. It almost makes no sense how that happens. 9 runs with no outs in the top of the first. So they go 8 for 8 with 3 hit by pitches and score 9 runs. CJ Abrams, 0 for 0 with 2 hit by pitches.
In the first inning, he got hit twice?
Yeah, he got hit by pitch twice. James Wood, 2 for 2, 2 singles. Nate Lowe, 1 for 1 with a double. Luis Garcia, 1 for 1 with a double. Josh Bell, hit by pitch. Keeper Ruiz, 1 for 1 with a double. Jose Tena, 1 for 1 with a double. And Dalen Lyle, 1 for 1 with a double.
So it was only hit by pitches and doubles.
Yeah, and James Wood had two singles,
which accounts for a double.
Yeah, exactly. Total bases wise, yeah. And James Wood, by the way, has been unbelievable. He has been unreal. And so he hit in that 9th run, but also just in the month of May, batting .330 with a .604 slugging, a .1014 OPS, 7 home runs, 23 RBIs, and he's got 6 steals on 7 attempts.
Damn.
And for a guy who's 6'7", probably
say he's a tall fella.
230. maybe a lot more than that. That's pretty impressive stolen base numbers to just throw in there.
Yeah.
So maybe the Nationals have found something. I mean, James Wood is an incredible player. I think we all knew that. But now he's hitting the ball up. He's putting like a little bit more launch angle on the ball, and that is so dangerous. It's unbelievable.
It's just what we need.
Yeah, and I think, obviously, there's the offensive side of this performance, and then there's the pitching side. And so we're going to start off the bad pitching segment today with Brandon Pfaadt. 0 innings pitched.
Is this the dude that got... No.
Yeah, it was Brandon Pfaadt who started the game. 0 innings pitched, 6 hits, 8 runs, all earned, no walks, no strikeouts, no home runs, 31 pitches, and I believe he was 2 of the hit by pitches. Yeah, not a good day. Not a good day whatsoever. Maybe a little bit more surprising for a bad start this weekend. Jesus Luzardo against the Brewers.
He's been killing it this year.
Yeah, not anymore. 3.1 innings pitched, 12 hits, 12 earned runs.
Oh.
Yeah. 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, give up 2 home runs. His ERA went from a 2.15 to 3.58.
How do you how does the manager let him stay in after giving up 8 runs?
That's a fantastic
even
question.
6 runs.
You'd have to ask Rob Thompson. I don't know. And honestly, you should be asking their whole rotation because the starting pitchers, his being the third of these 3 games, in their last 3, I guess the 2 before, it's not technically their last 3 because they played again on Saturday, but Friday and the 2 games before that, 12 innings pitched, 12.1, by their starting pitching, 23 hits, 22 runs, 8 walks, 3 home runs. That's not how you win baseball games. I'll say it. Another guy who doesn't win baseball games is Antonio Senzatella, and he pitches for the Rockies, of course. And against the Mets, 4 innings pitched. God. 4 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, give up 2 bombs. That was his 10th loss of the season. That was before the end of May. 10 losses before May ends is unbelievable.
It's absurd.
Yeah. Only one pitcher since 1980 has reached 20 losses.
How does he still keep getting the ball in his hands?
Because he's on the Rockies. Who else are they going to put the ball?
They got to have somebody in AAA.
Dude, they brought up all the talent they had. It was Chase Dolander, and that's it. And he's killing it.
Fuck.
But, it is crazy that they keep putting the ball in his hand to start the day, but I mean, I don't know what else you can do.
Bring someone out of the bullpen, give them a chance to start the game.
I mean,
there's got to be somebody.
You would think. You would think. We talked a lot about Yankees-Dodgers, and obviously the Dodgers had to have done pretty well, and the Yankees pitching staff must have done pretty bad. So Max Fried in Game 1, an uncharacteristically bad Max Fried. 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts.
Was this played in L.A. or in New York?
In L.A.
Okay.
In L.A.
Has Max Fried lost in New York yet?
I don't think so. I don't think he has. Ethan, you probably find out on his splits page on Baseball Reference.
But producer boy.
Will Warren in Game 2.
He got lit the fuck up.
1.1 innings pitched, 6 hits, 7 runs, 4 walks on 57 pitches. I mean, that's a good way to start if you want to give up 18 runs.
Yeah. And he was a spotlight player on MLB The Show too. I think that spotlight came out and then this start happened.
That's not good. Ethan, do we have the numbers on Max Fried? All right. I'll move to the good pitching while we wait on that number for Max
miss
Fried.
Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan's a little faster. I don't know if Nathan would have found that one either, but
he would already been on ESPN.
Yeah, Nathan always uses ESPN and it bothers the hell out of me, but I'm more of a Baseball Reference guy myself. Good pitching. Tarek Skubal. This is honestly average pitching for this guy. Against the Royals, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts on 90 pitches. So was that game. Okay.
Man.
Wow. So, yeah, he has not lost at home. But, yeah, Tarek Skubal didn't get the loss in this game, got a no decision, but they lost 1-0. What do you have, Ethan?
Yankees are up 3-1.
Oh, what happened?
Which Rice is that?
Ben Rice.
Ben Rice, homer, Judge scored.
Is there another Rice on the Yankees?
I don't think there is.
I just don't remember which Rice.
I didn't know there was multiple. I thought it was
Eating
just
like
Ben.
white rice, brown rice, like fried
Yeah, maybe.
rice.
Yeah, I was
Imagine
gonna
he's like
mix up.
brown rice double.
Like I thought it was Ben Rice, but I was like, is it Ben Rice?
That's fair. You could have just said rice.
I don't think there's another rice in the league.
I don't think there is. I don't think so. But yeah, so Tarek Skubal got pulled after 7 innings, 90 pitches in, didn't give up a run, no walks, gave up 2 hits, and they lost 1-0. And for some reason, people were mad at AJ Hinch for pulling him. 90 pitches in after 7. Why would he stay in? It's a 0-0 ball game. Why is he staying in? Like what? Why would you be mad about that? In my opinion, there's no more obvious scenario to pull that guy out when he's the reigning Cy Young, the future Cy Young as well, and he's on the best team in baseball right now
with a good bullpen that should
with
be able
a
to hold
great
that.
bullpen, and it's also June. It is the start of June right now, and we're complaining about AJ Hinch pulling Tarek Skubal after 7 like almost perfect innings, but he had 90 pitches, bro. You got to make it to the end. You can't just pitch these guys until they can't throw anymore, Brian Snitker. But like,
It's not 1940
yeah,
anymore.
exactly. Tarek Skubal is not Warren Spahn. He's not throwing a 17-inning complete game.
They can't throw 150 pitches and be
Exactly,
okay to
bro.
walk
Tarek
the
Skubal is already defying the odds enough throwing 103 in the 9th. Like, let him be. He's literally coming off last week's start where he was unreal. Get over it. Like this, how can you be mad about anything regarding this start? He wasn't going to go 150 to finish the game. Like, what are we talking about? And he was going up against Michael Wacha, who also threw a stellar outing. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. His ERA a 2.88 and took a no through 6.1.
See, he got pulled.
Yeah,
Same time.
exactly. He got pulled after 7 great innings, and it was 0-0. And they left it up to the bullpens. And somehow the Royals decided to score a run, which never happens. We'll go through this one quickly. Garrett Crochet versus the Braves, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits,
My guy.
1 run, 12 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a home run. Entered the 7th with 99 pitches and struck out the side to finish this
I'm
day.
so mad the Braves did not get him.
Yeah, and instead we got fucking dick slapped by him. This series was really weird
Yeah.
between the Braves and the Red Sox.
Acuna still looks good, though.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
great.
don't understand why we put out that shitty lineup for game 1 of the doubleheader.
Beats me, man.
Or no, was that the Philly series?
The Philly series
That was
was
the
the
Philly series.
doubleheader.
That was my
yeah,
bad.
where we started Fairchild over Acuna.
Fairchild and Eli White were
Yeah.
in the first.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
That was so weird.
why game 1?
So stupid. You talked about bringing in a reliever potentially for the Rockies. The Cubs brought in Ben Brown in relief. I don't know who started the game for him, but just wasn't working for him. In long relief against the Reds, 6 innings pitched out of the bullpen from Ben Brown. 1
Hell yeah.
hit, no runs, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts on 77 pitches.
Hell yeah.
That is a hell of a relief appearance.
Hell yeah.
If
He'll be a starter soon.
Yeah, dude, if you're Craig Counsell and you go to your pen early in the game and you get 6 innings out of a guy out of the pen, you're like, all right, so let's find a way to get this guy starting every 5 days. Like, that is outstanding from Ben Brown. Now, I got to talk about Robbie Ray because he keeps just getting no decisions, which is kind of insane. He threw his 7th quality start in a row, which is awesome. But 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. An outstanding day. Robbie Ray having a career resurgence, by the way, in case everybody was wondering. And lowered his season ERA to 2.43. Also got him his first loss of the year. This Giants offense is wasting good pitching a lot. They do it a lot. Ethan just gave us the update 4-1 now. What happened?
Yamamoto wild pitch. Volpe scores.
Oh, that's tough. But yeah, Robbie Ray, my condolences. You should not have gotten the loss there.
Come to the Braves.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll take Robbie
we'll
Ray
treat
right
you
now.
nice.
And now let's talk about 2 complete games that happened. Zach Littell
Who
throwing
the
a complete
fuck's that?
game. Yeah, exactly. Outstanding game. I mean, kind of. He went 9, so you can't be mad. But 9 innings pitched, 10 hits. Kind of crazy. 3 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 117 pitches. But he went the distance. You got to give him that credit.
Maybe they were just trying to save the bullpen as much as they could.
I guess so. And then Framber Valdez with one of the most intriguing performances you'll find. He goes for the complete game, 9 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. he only threw 83 pitches. And he struck out 9 batters in a complete game.
It's like Greg Maddox numbers, but without the strikeouts.
Yeah, and he gave up a run.
Yeah.
But the math doesn't make sense. 2.7 pitches per batter faced in this game.
With 9 Ks.
But he had 9 Ks. So he was racking up the 1 out or the 1 pitch outs a lot. But shout out to Framber Valdez, who's also another guy just sneakily having outstanding season. A lot of these guys in the AL are having sneakily outstanding seasons because Tarek School was just so much better than all of them that, like, unless you're Garrett Crochet, everybody else is just way better. Or, like, those two are just way better than everybody, and then nobody else gets their respect.
Yeah, they're good, but are they them?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, Hunter Brown, he has had, like, 1 bad start all year, and
No one
cares.
talks about it.
Literally nobody cares. That's the end of the good pitching. Let's talk a little bit about the benches clearing. Finally got a decent benches clearing, and for good reason, I'll say.
Nothing will be compared to down goes Anderson.
I mean, yeah, of course, but I think this was a reasonable bench clearing.
Oh, those jerseys are so ugly.
Yeah, the Orioles and White Sox.
The Orioles the Orioles orange pants just pissed me off.
Yeah, and they're glowing.
It's like fucking crayons out there.
Yeah, that is brutal. All right, start the video. But yeah, so these are like the 2 worst teams in baseball right now. You love to see the bullpen guys trotting out there to get into the altercation. We have the replay of the rundown. So this was interesting. So Kobe Mayo gets an RBI single. Tries to advance a second, gets into a rundown, tries to go and push Sosa. Literally runs out of the baseline to try and push Sosa, even though Sosa doesn't have the ball. Vargas has the ball.
He's trying to bait it.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah, I
what
know,
he's doing.
but I mean, that's lame as shit.
Nah, I respect it.
I don't. I think that's so stupid. I mean, you're going to get a guy hurt doing that. I mean, Sosa, especially because Sosa was, yeah, and then you pushed him. Come on. But, like, Sosa was literally trying to not be in your way. And you tried to, you essentially tried to blindside him. I would be pissed.
Yeah,
I'd be swinging
I'd be
if I was
pissed.
Sosa. If I was Sosa, I'd be swinging. Especially with Kobe Mayo goes to the ground and you stay up, bro. Ground and pound. Imagine he just goes fucking UFC on Kobe Mayo.
I just love
right
that
there.
with how the bullpens are set up there,
Yeah, they run out together.
they're literally right next to each other.
That is
I'd run out of the
very
bullpen
funny
and
part of
immediately
that.
spear tackle another one from
Yeah,
their
exactly.
bullpen.
Just take on all the other bullpen
Like
guys.
they just fight in the outfield while the
Yeah.
other people are fighting in the infield.
Yeah, that would have been good.
What the fuck's Jackson Holiday gonna do? Is he gonna start throwing hands out there?
Jackson
Babyface
Holiday's
bitch.
He's not doing nothing. Jackson Holiday might have stayed in the dugout.
No, he was out there. I think he was standing next to Adley. Like
Nice. You're
behind-
probably hiding.
trying to
Yeah,
hide
hiding
behind
behind. I think Jackson Holiday could fully hide behind Adley Rutschman. You wouldn't even know. Mitch Keller. We were talking about quality starts with Robbie Ray. Mitch Keller's tied for the lead in the league in quality starts this season, but he's 1-7.
Oh,
Shout out to the
man.
Pirates. Mitch Keller getting wasted.
Probably
he's the,
he probably is going out and getting wasted after these
dude,
starts.
If I was Mitch Keller, I probably would. He is just the 5th pitcher in the integration era, which is post 40s, to be 1-7 or worse in his first 12 starts while having an ERA below 3.75.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
Yeah, dude, 1-7. His ERA is below 3.75. He's got 9 quality starts this year.
Yeah,
He's 1-7.
He's got grandpa as a DH. He's got a center fielder who wants to hit a double every 3 weeks. And an infield that doesn't exist.
Yeah. I mean that Pittsburgh offense is disgusting.
Yes.
All right, final thing. This happened like just a couple hours ago. Taylor Walls, and this cracked me up so much. Taylor Walls, bad strike call by the umpire. Kind of gives it a second, talks a little shit to the umpire, questions him a little bit, and then he does the helmet tap. He does the helmet tap, kind of mocking the umpire, looking for a challenge, which obviously isn't allowed in the majors. And then he gets tossed, and then he freaks the fuck out. It's so good. Yeah, he does like can I get an appeal? And then the umpire's like, nope, fuck you, get out. Lame ass ejection, by the way. You can't do a little point and flick. Fuck that. You got to toss him. Yeah, and then Taylor Walsh just starts losing it.
You can hear him in the video just go, What tap?
Yeah. I mean, some guys do just kind of like fix their helmet, tap their helmet, like whatever. He was trying to do that. Taylor Walls was trying to do that. And then he's getting like held back. He's freaking the fuck out though. He lost it. He like, I don't know. That umpire must have said something crazy.
Just triggered him,
Dude,
bro.
because he was just like, what? Like, what did I do? Like, what? Yeah, dude. And he will not stop. It's crazy. Like somebody must have triggered something in his head, bro.
Yeah, get him off the field, Josh.
Somebody's got to like carry him to the clubhouse. He's gonna have to be in like a straitjacket in there when they get back. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh man,
Shout out to Taylor
that's
Walls.
funny as fuck though.
Yeah. Yeah, look at literally eye contact with the ump and go. It's a great move, and then to also just absolutely go ape shit on him. It was great. Shout out to Taylor Walls. That was as enjoyable of an ejection as you can find. All right. Do we have another update in Yankees Dodgers, or are we still 4-1?
I think we're flat.
Yep. Still 4-1. All right. We're going to move on to some NFL news. We have very little to the point of one of them is actually news. One of them is just a tweet. And the other is that second half of the most underappreciated player on each team list that we started last week. But we'll start with this Bryce Huff trade. So the Eagles trading Bryce Huff to the 49ers. It's actually not going to go through, I think, until probably today when you guys listen. I think Monday, because they were waiting for the calendar to go to June for some compensation purposes. But we don't know exactly what the 49ers are giving back in return yet because the trade hasn't been finalized. I would assume it would be a late round draft pick. I mean, Bryce Huff.
I don't see it being much.
Yeah, no, Bryce Huff lost that starting spot, and the Eagles just want to get that contract off the books. 3 years, $51 million they gave him a couple years ago, and they're not going to use him. It's funny. Me and Luke were just talking about this trade between the Jets and the Eagles from a couple of years ago with Hassan Reddick and Bryce Huff, and how like weird that trade has been. And this just makes it a little bit weirder. But the 49ers kind of lucking out here because before this trade goes through, the Eagles restructured his deal, which helps out the 49ers by covering $9.05 million of his $16.75 guaranteed money for this coming season. So, like, the Eagles really helped him out. That's why I'm thinking maybe we get a little bit better compensation. Not like a first-round pick, but, like, instead of, like, a 7th next year, it's a 6th in 2 years is probably what we're talking about with that kind of cover. But, yeah, I think this is a good move by the 49ers. They've been kind of reconstructing the whole defensive line. So it makes a lot of sense. Ethan, how's that Florida State game going? I see you got it up.
Leadoff double, Miles Bailey in the bottom of the 7th.
Hell yeah. Let's go, Miles.
Go Bulldogs.
Whoa. No.
We will see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, so Bryce Huff going to the 49ers. Like, how does that... Do we think this defensive line is going to look a lot better? Because, like, last year, that defensive line was bad.
I
Outside of Bosa.
think it's going to be like walking around on eggshells still.
Yeah?
Like, just... I don't think it's going to be as good as we saw it a few years back.
For sure. That makes sense. It's been a lot of just swing and miss pickups these past couple years.
Yeah.
They just have not worked out.
And it's a lot of players that are just, like, injury prone. Like,
Yeah.
they're not able to stay on the field for the whole year.
Yeah, another kind of big part of this is Bryce Huff. Obviously, his best years with the Jets, and Robert Saleh just returned to the 49ers to be their DC. So a little reuniting between the two of them.
This could be the spark the 49ers need.
Maybe it is. We'll see. We'll see what Bryce Huff has to offer. So the Falcons deleted a tweet the other day, and for good reason, because it sparked some bad memories. So it's just a post, good photo of Jesse Bates and Mike Hughes. Seems pretty innocent, you'd think.
Until you look
a little deeper and you realize, oh, wait, Mike Ford, he wears number 28. And Jesse Bates was number 3. And there's just a picture on the Falcons Twitter that just has 28-3. How do we do this to ourselves? There's got to be we need like the 28-3 checker.
Fire
It needs to be a
social
job.
media intern now.
Hey, Falcons. Okay, hire me and I will just make sure that there's never a 28-3 or a Super Bowl reference in anything we post ever.
You're going to have like a reminder set before you post anything?
Yeah, no, everything runs through me. I'm the last checker.
Game update.
Yeah, game update. Oh, it's 28-3? No. Nah, we'll wait till somebody else scores.
No one else
can't
scores.
be-
You just don't post the.
Yeah, it can't be 28-3. It'll just say final. And then we'll get the tweet from Big Cat saying, post the final score.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm good. But yeah, I thought that was hilarious
Yeah.
to see.
It
All right, Ethan, can you pull that list that I've got in there? AFC's most underappreciated player on each team. We went through the NFC last week. If you wanted to hear it, this is a article from NFL.com. The AFC side from Tom Blair. So you can start scrolling down here. Start with the Baltimore Ravens, Rashad Bateman.
I like that one.
I like that a lot.
He really had to step up
Yeah.
behind Zay.
And I think he's going to have another great year. I know that DeAndre Hopkins apparently looked very good at OTAs so far.
I don't think that's going to play that much of an effect.
I think he'll play a little bit of. He'll be more impactful than like the moves like OBJ. And
It's going to
stuff
help
like that.
Rashad and Zay have a lot more one-on-one
Yeah, that's for sure.
that they don't have to worry about. I don't even remember who the Ravens' third wide receiver was last year.
Yeah, I can't even think of one that was there. Florida State 2-2. Let's go, Florida State.
I was wondering why Miles Bailey wasn't on second and there was 0. Look at
Let's go, Knowles.
I'm literally sitting here trying to think, and I cannot think of.
Yeah, I
who-
can't think of a wide receiver 3 for that team last year, which is a bad thing. Not for us, for them. But yeah, no, I think Rashad Bateman's going to benefit, honestly, from DeAndre Hopkins being there. And I think, by the end of the season, he got his love,
Yeah,
but not enough. Not enough love. He had a great season pretty much all the way through with a couple of big standout performances.
he had
but-
like 9 touchdowns last year.
Yeah. He had an
It was
outstanding season.
insane.
All right, Ethan, can we get to the next one? On to the Buffalo Bills. Dorian Williams, hand up. I don't really know this guy. 23-year-old linebacker. I feel like there's not a ton of dudes on the Bills that
Oh no, it should have been that backup running back.
talking about Ray Davis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
Davis,
balled out last
baller.
year,
Ray Davis is a baller.
especially as a receiving back too.
Yeah,
Like the amount of 40, 50-yard completions that he had.
yeah. Right, he was a dog in North Carolina.
Yeah,
I remember that a lot. He was at Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah,
I was thinking of Omarion
Yeah,
Hampton.
Omarion Hampton was at UNC.
But no, Ray Davis was a dog at Kentucky.
Yeah, well, I'm cool with Dorian Williams mainly because I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, so he must be underappreciated. I don't know him.
Hopefully he balls out this year.
Yeah. All right, next one.
I want the Bills to win a Super Bowl.
Me too. The Bengals. Mike Gesicki.
I feel like it's hard to put a tight end because you use 4 different ones.
Yeah, I would almost say Andre Yoshivas is maybe a better pick.
Yeah, because you get overlooked by T. Higgins and
And Jamar.
and Jamar.
Like that to me, and I think for Gesicki, it's almost that he's just the only tight end that's played well with Joe Burrow at all.
Shit, for the Bengals, I would put Evan McPherson, bro. He's underappreciated.
He
as
is
fuck.
underappreciated. He's a good kicker.
Or Tanner Hudson,
Yeah,
backup tight end.
yeah. I mean, Gesicki had a great year last year. I don't
Yeah.
want to take that away from him.
Yeah, you could put any of the tight ends.
Yeah, I mean, they do all play a pretty important role, considering you have these unbelievably talented wide receivers at the top,
Mm-hmm.
and then somebody's got to do the dirty work.
That's true.
Yeah. All right, next, Ethan.
Because there's literally nobody on the defense you can say is
Yeah,
underappreciated.
exactly. Yeah, none of them deserve any appreciation.
I like Jordan Hicks for the Browns.
I do like Jordan Hicks for the Browns. I think on this defense, it's pretty easy to get overshadowed
Yeah.
when Myles Garrett's around.
Especially when you're not even the best sports Jordan Hicks.
I don't even know about that. I mean, yeah, he probably is worse than Jordan Hicks on the Giants. That's fair. And he is also a 32-year-old. So I think the biggest thing is that this Browns defense is always better than we anticipate. It's just last year, a lot of guys got overlooked because the offense was so bad that the defense just had to do a lot more. So the numbers weren't great.
Yeah.
This was still a fine defense. And obviously, Myles Garrett kind of steals the show.
Why are you chuckling over there?
What?
pitch clock's just not working in the out.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good.
Cool. All right. Next, Ethan.
Yeah, next player. Denver Broncos. Jonathan Cooper. I like that pick as well. I mean, anybody on that defense other than PS2, I think, is underappreciated.
That's Riley Moss.
Yeah, well, yeah, Riley Moss, you don't deserve any appreciation.
Grayson was hyping him up for like a week or two, and
Bro,
then
because he was pretty good a couple times.
and then he had a game where he just got cooked.
Yeah. What game was
I think
that,
it was
dude?
against the Bengals.
It might have been.
Because I think he got put on T. Higgins, and that's when T. Higgins
Higgins
had 3
went crazy,
touchdowns.
and I needed Jamar to score points. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that shit pissed me off so bad.
That was a game T. Higgins had like 200 receiving
Yeah.
yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think with Jonathan Cooper, I mean Zach Allen obviously got some notoriety just because he's putting up crazy numbers, and same with Nick Bonito. But Jonathan Cooper's a great shout. I think offensively, almost any of those wide receivers last year. I think Marvin Mims is underappreciated, but
Devon Bailey.
yeah, Devon Bailey is underappreciated. Like there's so many guys you.
Cortland
can go
Sutton's
to.
not underappreciated.
No, I think he's right on the money.
I think he's a little overappreciated.
I don't know. I think he's pretty solid.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, next.
Marvin Mims for sure, though, is a dog.
Yeah. For the Texans, Derek Barnett is a great pick,
Yes.
defensive end, because obviously,
That's dude from Tennessee.
did he come
Like
from Tennessee?
like a while ago, came from Tennessee.
Maybe.
He was like
I
one of those
can't remember that.
highly like scouted defensive ends.
Potentially. But I mean, when you're on a defensive line and you've got an outside linebacker on one side, and it's Will Anderson, and another edge rusher, and it's
The Grenard?
no,
What's his name?
it came from
Danielle Hunter.
Yeah, Danielle Hunter. Thank you, God. And then the rest of your defense is also unbelievable. Derek Stingley. You had Kamari Lassiter last year go crazy. It's easy to get overshadowed, and I think Derek Barnett is a great defensive end. I mean, 5 sacks last year. Obviously, not crazy high, and he didn't get a huge snap share. Only 38% of the snaps for the Texans, but he made an impact when he was there. I mean, 5 sacks when you're only getting 38% of the snaps is crazy. So shout out to Derek Barnett. I think it's a good shout. Next player, Colts, Nick Cross. I don't know much about Nick Cross, I'll be honest. And now with Cam Bynum coming in at safety, I don't know how much more he's going to be involved. I think for the Colts, maybe if I was to go somewhere else, I'd maybe say like probably one of those linebackers, man. They have a great linebacker. Is EJ Speed? Is that who I'm thinking of?
He had a
I feel
good.
like he's a little bit underappreciated. He puts up crazy tackle numbers. Offensively,
Damn, Nick Cross is only 23.
yeah,
He's young.
yeah.
Shit, he's my age.
So maybe he ain't that young.
I said my age, not Nathan's age. He ain't even here, and he's still getting shots fired at him.
Of course.
Sick boy.
Maybe on the offensive side, you go like maybe for Josh Downs.
Nah, he had a horrible year last year.
Well, I mean, Anthony Richardson was his quarterback, and so was Joe Flacco. So
Mo Alley Cox.
I don't even know if he's still playing. Mo Alley Cox still
Is it
rolling?
bad I don't want to say there's an underappreciated player?
There
on the
might
Colts?
not be. They're pretty bad. I don't think Mo Alley Cox.
Who was the
playing,
backup
bro.
to Jonathan Taylor? He had to have a couple good games. No, he's on the Bengals.
He was last year. Well, he's on the Colts now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go with no.
Yeah, nobody. For the
Nobody.
Colts. All right, next. What? Who is it? Oh, really? Tyre Franklin's awesome. Jags. Brenton Strange.
I can appreciate this
Yes,
one.
I can too, because now he's going to move into that starting spot. And I like that a
Yeah.
lot. I think that Brenton Strange is a guy that obviously got so overshadowed because he got underutilized. But like 24 years old, he's got all the time in the world. He's got a good quarterback. I'll give Trevor the credit. He's a good quarterback if he wants to play, if he's in the right scenario. And fundamentally, Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. We've seen him be a good quarterback. Is he right now? Maybe not. But he is a good quarterback.
What do you think about Tank Bigsby for underappreciated?
He could definitely be up there. I think he got his flowers, though, this past season. He got some love.
He fell downhill real quick. Though.
Yeah. Well, they
Halfway
just
through.
stopped giving him the ball.
Yeah, because Etienne came back and they were like, all right, let's give him another chance.
Yeah, and we see how that went.
So happy I traded him away.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
It's a good move. All right, on to the next team. We got the Kansas City Chiefs. Noah Gray, another backup tight end. Do we have to do this? Do we have to play this game where it's like, yeah, he's fine?
He's fine.
But he's not. It's not like he's like starting level somewhere else.
yeah.
At least not on like a good team. Like, he wouldn't make a good starter.
I like Justin Watson.
Yeah, I like Justin Watson a lot.
I
That's a
think
good
he's
pick.
very underappreciated just because Xavier Worthy
Yeah.
and names like Juju Smith, and now you have Hollywood
Rashi
Brown.
Rice exists.
Rashi Rice. Sorry, I'm just trying to
Well, no, I'm just
stay away from the
reminding,
controversy.
Yeah, reminding everybody. Well, all of them have their fair shares.
But I feel like Justin Watson is a guy who could easily go be a starter somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's.
He
a good
gets
pick.
no love, but he makes do with what he gets.
Yeah, I think Noah Gray benefits from not being Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I think that's like
100%.
Yeah, his best attribute is that when he's on the field, he's not Travis Kelce,
Because they'll
and so he
put
doesn't
both
get
of them on the
guarded
field
like.
at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. All right, on to the next.
And he's not dating Taylor Swift.
That is true.
Never
Adam
heard of you.
Butler for the Raiders. Yeah, I mean, if you're on the Raiders defensive line and you're not Max Crosby, I probably don't know you unless you're Tyree Wilson, who sucks.
I would have one of their wide receivers.
I think
Dude.
Jacoby Myers is underappreciated,
Yeah.
even though he's like the starter and had a good season last year. I think
There
he's
was
a little
another one. I
underappreciated.
forgot his name. Fuck.
Thinking of Trey Tucker. I don't know if he's there this season now, but
He was one of them, but there was someone in like his. I think it started with a D.
oh yeah, I don't know. Anything?
No.
No, he's a rookie.
So he must
I
be
love
gone.
Dante Thornton Jr., but he's a rookie. I'm trying to think if I
Fuck,
can.
we can run Michael Mayer. He was
Yeah, I think
decent
Michael.
last year.
Okay, yeah. Let's stop going to backup tight ends though. I mean, yeah, you could say Michael Mayer, but also Brock Bowers exists, and once again,
But
he
he's not-
benefits from
he's-
not being Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
All right, on to
I
the
hate
next
this one.
team. Yeah, I will say the NFC was a little bit more entertaining. The AFC, a lot more just random defensive guys I've never heard of. Speaking of the Los Angeles Chargers, Elijah Molden, safety.
You ever heard of him?
No. Dude, if you're a safety on the Chargers, you're either Derwin James or I don't know you. Actually, I think Alohi Gilman.
I think you could say J.K.
He's a
Dobbins was
corner.
underappreciated last year.
Yeah, but he's not there anymore. So I think that's the.
Are we not basing it off last year?
No, I think this is kind of going into next year.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how they were doing this. But I'm trying to think. Can I say Quentin Johnston?
No.
Okay. Fair.
Just shutting that shit down immediately.
You know what? I can appreciate the hell out of that. Who's that corner I'm thinking of? Is Tarheeb Still? Is that the right name? Tarheeb Still? Is he a corner for the Chargers? If he is, he's the right answer here.
Sure, we'll go with that.
No, I'm just trying to remember how the name is. Is it Tarheeb Still?
That's what we talk about.
Yeah,
Cameron
Tarheeb Still
Dicker.
is outstanding. Yeah, Cameron Dicker is a great player. I think it's hard to put a kicker sometimes.
Cameron Dicker puts up points.
He does. Yeah, I think people know that Cameron Dicker's a baller.
All right, just making sure.
All right, on to the next. We've got the Miami Dolphins. Aaron Brewer, the center. I mean, what are we talking about here? Just
I think last.
yeah, dude.
I think I know his. There's a possible trade up in the air, but Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. I mean, Jonnu Smith.
He might be on his way to Pittsburgh.
Bro, hear me
here
out.
soon.
Jonnu Smith last year was better than Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
Like for real.
bro, Jonnu might be on his way to Pittsburgh here soon.
Yeah, I know. That
You saw
trade.
that?
Yeah, that trade rumor is very interesting.
When like in,
Arthur
like,
Smith is just putting together the the negative infinity
Bro,
gauntlet.
and like they headline that perfect because it like cut off after Pro Bowler, and like
Yeah.
everyone thought it was Tyreek Hill,
Yeah.
and then you open it up and it says Jonnu Smith, and it's
Yeah.
just like what the fuck.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, sure. Aaron Brewer's a good center. I've heard of him, so he
I would
must
go.
be a pretty
I
good
would go
center.
with Jonnu.
Yeah, I
He
think
had
John's
a
probably
fucking
better pick,
amazing
but
season last year.
There's no telling if he'll even step on the field.
This one I can get behind.
Absolutely,
Keon
love
White's
this.
a dog.
Absolutely love this pick for the Patriots. Keon White is such a baller. I loved him coming out of Georgia Tech, and I just would assume he's going to keep playing well.
Yeah.
Especially with the new coaching staff. I think Vrabel is just going to elevate what these guys already have going for themselves so much.
I'm excited for this Patriots team this year.
Yeah. I mean, defensively, Christian Gonzalez was already second team All-Pro last year. I mean, you're looking at a guy who's contending for Defensive Player of the Year next year.
Didn't they just get another solid corner too later in the draft?
Yeah.
I feel like they did.
I don't remember who it was, but
they got that wide receiver was underrated as fuck. I think it's from Washington State or something like that. Something Williams maybe.
Ethan, could you help us out with this?
Yeah, producer, we need help with names, bro. We're struggling.
Yeah, I'm so out of the NFL right now.
Yeah, it's
I'm
hard not
very
to just
out
be
of
in
practice. Is there a
Patriots wide receiver? Pretty sure he came from Arizona State or no, Washington State.
I only have the depth.
Okay, well, what wide receivers are there that you?
Kyle
don't know?
Williams. That's his fucking.
That's his name.
Kyle Williams.
Yes, Kyle Williams is a baller. I'm glad you
Yes.
said that. Yeah, he
Yes.
is very promising. I think there's just a lot of players on this team that I think are just going to elevate things. I think they were a little bit too stuck in like what they had going on last year, and like Drake not starting the season as a starter and kind of having to transfer over. And then honestly, it seemed like they were throwing games.
And they had like it's like with Ramondre Stevenson, he just
Yeah.
couldn't do shit.
Yeah, no, there were so many issues, but I do think that the Patriots are on the right. They're on the right path.
They're on the
I
right
mean,
track.
they look to me on paper and with Vrabel, they look like a 9-win team.
They will not be the worst team in the league next year.
Oh, certainly not. Certainly not.
There's this team called the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. They might be better than the Falcons. I'll be honest.
The Patriots have 2 running backs named Travion.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I
But
forgot
they're
about
spelled
Travion
different.
Henderson.
They're spelled different.
Interesting.
Treveyon.
That's Travion Henderson.
Travion Henderson. Ooh.
Trayveon.
Do they still have
wow.
Antonio Gibson, or did he go somewhere else?
They do have it still.
Okay.
I think Gibson
RB3 though.
might move to special teams.
Yeah, maybe. All right, on to our next on the list. Come on, Ethan. There we go. New York Jets. Joe Tippmann.
Look at that mullet.
He's a great young center.
Look at that mullet.
I actually know Joe Tippmann because he's very good. So I'm going to give him his flowers.
Looks like Joe Kingman.
There's no fucking way you just said that. He does not look like Joe Kingman.
Ethan, you know what I'm talking about?
Now he does. He does not look like Joe Kingman at all. Joe Tippmann is like a big white guy with a beard and a mullet. Joe Kingman is The Rock in fucking, what is that movie called?
The Game Plan.
Yeah, he does not look like Joe Kingman, but that was a fantastic reference.
Y'all remember the part where like,
She's allergic to shrimp.
yeah, but like, no, he eats something.
He's allergic to something.
He's allergic to something. She like gives it to him, and he's going around the field like, no, 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 no.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Dave Kingman?
Oh, Dave
You talking about the
No.
baseball player?
Yeah, I actually like Joe Tippmann as the pick for the Jets. I mean, there's plenty of guys on that defense you could go for as well. I think Quincy Williams is still somehow underrated.
Yeah,
He's a
I'm
dog.
gonna go. He's not on the team anymore, but I'm just gonna say from last year, who I thought was underappreciated was Tyler Conklin.
I agree with that. He is so underappreciated. All right,
I forgot where he
moving
went.
on.
I want to say the Chargers.
The Steelers. I hate this pick. Jalen Warren.
Yeah, no, fuck you.
Jalen Warren is just simply not that good,
No,
and he's also probably not going to be the starting running back. Like. Caleb Johnson, I think, is just leaps and bounds better than him. We'll see. I mean, Caleb Johnson hasn't stepped foot on an NFL field, but to me, it seems like a better.
Low-key, I would say Calvin Austin.
Calvin Austin, I think, gets hate just for existing on that team, mainly because Steelers fans are so tired of him being wide receiver 3. But he does some dirty work, and he's good for like a cool touchdown every year.
And he's a great deep threat decoy to
Yeah.
open up the middle of the field.
Yeah, no, I think he plays his role. I'll give him that
And-
credit.
Yeah,
But also, the quarterback situation this year doesn't bode well for wide receivers to have a good year.
Will Howard has looked great in training camp.
I know, but
He will be the day one
I
starter.
think he will. But
Not this Mason
we'll
Rudolph
see.
shit.
all right.
Get him out of here, bro. He doesn't even need to play in the NFL anymore.
Shout out to Mason Rudolph.
No,
He was
he's
good in
horrible.
college.
This isn't college.
Yeah, but I'm saying he had a good college career. Hey, you can say the same about Will Howard. He hasn't even played in the NFL. All right, on to the next. The Titans. Amani Hooker. Great pick. Amani Hooker's a fantastic safety.
Chiz Okonkwo.
Dude, did you say Jizz?
Chiz.
Shig.
Shig.
Short for Shigozum.
Shigozi.
Yeah. No, fuck Sugar Conqueror. I'm done with that guy. I've been trying to say that he was going to break out for the last 3 years, and he never does. He never plays well. Maybe it's because Will Levis and Ryan Tannehill have been his quarterbacks, but
He had Malik Willis for a little bit.
yeah. Yeah, it didn't help. I think that maybe helped my argument.
What do you mean? Will Rocket Levis?
Oh, you can't take that name away from him. That's
Shout
one
out,
thing.
shout out, Gia.
All right, next team. That's all I needed for that one, and that's the end of the list. All right, yeah, the NFC list way better. So whichever
NFL
writer,
sucks right now.
whichever writer wrote that was better than the one that wrote the.
It's
AFC
definitely
list.
NFC biased.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, it was two different writers who wrote the two lists,
Oh, was it?
which I
really?
thought was weird, but it's whatever it is. All right, a little bit of college football news, and then we're getting out of here.
Keep it short and sweet for you today.
Yeah, so last week we talked about it. They have officially changed the seeding. So the conference winners don't get the buys. It's just the top 4 teams get the buys, and the top 4 ranked conference winners make the tournament. Now we had the
Did you
SEC
just call it a tournament?
Yeah, I mean the playoff, whatever.
I just never heard someone call it a tournament.
It is.
It's technically a tournament, but I've
Yeah.
never
I think
heard
it's 'cause I've been
anybody
thinking
call
about
it a
college
tournament.
baseball so much.
Yeah, everyone just calls it the CFP, the
Yeah,
playoff.
I know. I'm in college.
When I think of
baseball mode.
tournaments, I don't think of football.
Yeah,
I think it's 64.
64 teams. That's fair.
That's my.
But that's not even how
Yeah.
big the field is. That, or I guess that is how big the field is for college baseball.
All right, Ethan, what's going to be your best round of 64 matchup?
Of
Football.
College football.
Yeah, who's making
Miami
the
of
60?
Ohio.
Now,
That's
what?
my dynasty team. Right?
Western Kentucky versus Kennesaw State.
Can't wait.
Western Kentucky, Eastern Michigan.
That would not be a first round matchup.
I'd be crying.
It'd be
I would
like
know who to cheer for.
Clemson versus Kent State. Kent
would
State's
be-
not a top
That'd be
64 team.
round of 132.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, give me Army.
Actually, Clemson
Versus
would have
Louisville.
won.
That could line up. Army and Louisville. That could line up in the first round of the 64 teams.
Georgia,
Okay.
It's got to be a shitty team here.
Western Michigan.
Western Michigan is not a top 64 team. We're talking about like Georgia
You
versus
could have said
like,
Western Kentucky, and I would have been on board.
dude, I think
Bowling
maybe,
Green.
Jacksonville
Nah.
State.
Yeah, Georgia versus Jacksonville State, I think could
Why not
play.
Jackson?
Jackson
I was
State,
thinking
they're
round
not in Division 1. Or they're not in
Who?
FBS. Jackson State, they're in FCS. I think Georgia would maybe play like Georgia Southern
Oh God.
Yeah.
in the first round.
Sun Belt
JMU.
Talk
is
about
a little bit better than.
yeah, maybe JMU. Actually,
JMU. would
those
be
teams
high.
might be high. Yeah, those
Yeah.
teams might be higher. But like, you also kind of have to
Coastal?
assume that maybe every Power 5 team makes it for the most part.
Yeah.
You might be talking about Georgia versus Rutgers in the first round.
Yeah, you don't play enough mid majors.
Yeah, yeah,
Too
exactly.
many quad one wins.
All right, so who's your sleeper pick to go all the way?
In a 64 team,
Yeah.
my sleeper pick for next year. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go very deep for a sleeper in a 64 team bracket.
Think you take like the mid Power 5 team.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, you go for like Wisconsin.
There's gonna be upsets.
Yeah, maybe Nebraska, Rayola, year 2.
Maybe.
Dylan Mahomes. I mean, a sleeper for next year would be like Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan would be like a 7 seed.
Florida State.
Yeah. Florida State ain't making the tourney, bro.
Top 64.
Got to give me Bill Belichick in the
All
Tar
right.
Heels.
Well, let's talk about the actual
Boring.
playoff format that has been talked about a lot. SEC spring meetings, I think is what it was called the other day. All I really cared about from that initially was that I get to watch Paul Feinbaum get destroyed by every SEC head coach. Like Kirby Smart just fucking laying the hammer on him, and then Lane Kiffin comes up and is like, "I saw you were being an asshole to Kirby. Like, I hate you." But yeah, I hate Paul Feinbaum with a passion. We've gone over this.
It's just
before.
rage bait. Everything he
dude.
says is just rage
Dude,
bait.
And like, dude, yeah, it is.
He gets paid
literally
to piss people off.
The whole Kirby Smart thing was 10 or like 15 minutes before Kirby came on his show. Paul Feinbaum's like, "Yeah, I don't know if this is the right pick at quarterback." Yeah, well, no. So Paul Feinbaum was saying it earlier, and then Kirby comes on the show, and one of the people on Kirby's staff was like, "Hey, they just showed me a clip of you saying that Gunnar Stockton's not the guy," and and then Paul Feinbaum just like cowers. He literally, like, if he wasn't sitting at that desk, he would have been curled up in a ball on the floor while Kirby just yelled at him.
Gunner looks like he's 41.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. What are they putting in?
It's a good attribute.
What are they putting in those Georgia helmets to make all their players, their hairline just go?
I don't know. Car keys.
You know what I do love though? That no one is talking about Nico anymore.
Yeah, no, literally nobody cares.
His career is just done,
bro. If you're exactly. If you're at UCLA, nobody cares unless you're like the starting pitcher.
Yeah, you see why Dante left UCLA to go be a backup.
Yeah.
UCLA. I don't even know if he's going to start this year for
Dante Moore.
Yeah,
he might not. But so the actual playoff format that we're trying to talk about here is a 5+11 model. So for those that can't do addition at home, that's 16 teams. But that model has been talked about a lot at this SEC media stuff and within the Big Ten, of course. Those are the two that really matter because if it gets talked about there, it typically happens. So 5 teams would be the highest ranked conference champions. They would automatically make it in, the other 11 being at large bids. So
as it should be. I feel like if you work your ass off,
16?
16 teams?
Yeah. I think that's a little much. That's what this would be. 16 teams, the 5 highest ranked conference champions, 11 at large spots.
I probably wouldn't do 16.
There'd be no buys.
I like where it's at now.
Yeah.
But
I don't like the buy.
Yeah, but there's buys in every playoff.
Yeah, well,
you just gotta accept that.
Not in like the college level. That's my thing. Is it like in college basketball? You sure you have like play-ins, but like otherwise, yeah. But I mean, you don't have these first round buys. You don't have these weird situations where it's like, okay, especially when we go into next year, because last year it was almost like they had a cop out because they were like, oh well, we don't have to. It doesn't matter who's 4 and who's 5 because one of those teams is going to win their conference championship. Like one of them is going to be the highest ranked conference champion. They'll just get the bye. Now, if it's coming down to the final week of the season, and Ohio State is 4 and Notre Dame is 5, I'm just random picks here, and neither of them are playing a conference championship. Let's just say it works out like last year, where Penn State and Oregon are playing in the conference championship game for the Big Ten. Well, how do we know if Notre Dame or Ohio State is better than the other? Who should get that bye? That's where the tough conversations come, and then this would eliminate that.
Game with conference championship.
Put Notre Dame in a conference.
If you don't have buys, those conference champions are gonna have to play another extra game.
Yeah, and I think there's real merit to the idea of just throwing out the conference championship, which I hate, but it could be a thing, especially if we keep expanding the playoff. If nobody gets a bye, and we have a 16-team playoff. I'm not letting my team play. Well, it's not that you should not let your teams in it. If you're Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, you don't want your guys missing out on an opportunity to make the playoff because they lost a game that it's up to you if they play.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that I think it's supposedly kind of a big factor in if they'll do this is the SEC still plays just 8 conference games a season. Big 10 plays 9. I think the Big 12 plays 9. I think the ACC plays 9 as well. But the SEC stayed at 8. If they move to 9, then this model will work for them. Then Greg Sankey would be okay with moving to 16 teams. Or maybe vice versa. Maybe if they go to 16 teams, then the SEC moves to the 9 games because the SEC would probably, in my opinion, be more likely to add an extra conference game if they knew that they had more chances at being represented. Yeah. If your champion makes it, and then you could snag like 5 of those 11 at large bids, then it's worth it to add that extra game for the strength of schedule purposes.
I forgot what they were talking about, but I think it was ESPN up on the screen. They were talking about how there's a chance like some rivalry games are gonna not be scheduled, like won't be like annually scheduled, like the Iron Bowl or the
Iron Bowl's gotta happen every year.
I know that's what I'm saying, but that's what I saw that they're like the Iron Bowl, the 3rd Saturday in October. Yeah. Like some of those might not happen.
Yeah,
I have a question with that.
What the fuck do you want?
No, it's valid.
Speak, pimple face.
If you play more conference games, that's just gonna ruin your head-to-head against all those.
But it's about strength of schedule.
He's going to complain more and more.
The SEC is
Yes.
going to complain about anything possible, no matter what it
They're
is.
just gonna make it
Correct.
harder on the CFP, so then the SEC can complain more by adding an extra game.
Give what we
That's
just got
like the
1 to
one
2 more
problem I
years to see how it works out.
Yeah, but I hate that we went from the BCS to the 4-team playoff, and we were just cool with 4 teams for a while. They didn't fuck around with it. There's always an argument because you're only letting 4 teams in.
And it was usually only about that 4th spot. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
and I think the other part too is that the BCS was a computer.
well, that
The BCS was a computer generating an algorithm to say, okay, these are the 2 best teams in the nation, and then it became a room of people that all have biases sitting down who don't watch football, by the way.
the 4 teams, I can see why they changed it because there's like 3 teams that were just in there every year, with it being Ohio State, Clemson, and Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough parity. Was the idea, but then you make it 12 teams, and the first year of the 12 team is unbelievably flawed, like unbelievably flawed. And I think that this 12-team format that we were in last year would have worked in like 2017.
Mm-hmm.
If we had switched to 12 teams in 2017, it probably would have worked because the Pac-12 was still intact. We didn't have conference realignment. We didn't have the transfer portal. It would have worked because there was a good wealth of talent spread out across
Everywhere.
the top of these conferences.
Not just conference loaded between the Big Ten and the
Yeah.
SEC.
Yeah, but also we wouldn't have had Boise States. Maybe we would have still seen Arizona State because they won their conference, but like we wouldn't have had a Boise State. We wouldn't have had, South Carolina would have been in the conversation. Like that kind of stuff kind of piles up. And I think that the discourse and obviously when it comes down to it, it's all about the TV deals and who gets the money. And look, ESPN, they want something to talk about. They're kind of tired of having the Braun versus Jordan debate every goddamn morning. So they need something to get Robert Griffin III on for so that he doesn't come on anymore. But I mean, they need something to get these random guys on to just come and spit bullshit about. And the college football playoff is just the epitome of that. The college football playoff is the perfect proving grounds. Yeah, exactly. It is literally a talking piece. It's like they just find like any guy that played quarterback pretty well in college but not well in the NFL to come on and spew bullshit about whatever team that they probably played for in college and just be like, well, I don't know why they didn't make it. I don't know. They went 8-4.
It's like when they brought Saban in, and Saban was like, yeah, Alabama doesn't deserve to be in.
Yeah, see, that's what we need. We don't need, like, fucking Matt Leinart coming on.
Be like, oh.
Yeah, dude, I don't need to hear fucking Max Brown's fucking take on the college football playoff, dude. Max Brown, you make great TikToks, by the way.
Can we talk about the hand movements Ethan just did when FSU scored?
Oh, he was giving us the score of that.
Ethan
4-2.
did double. Like the doubles. I'm not going to do it on camera.
Do it again.
Do your celebration that you just did. But look at the screen. No, you did it twice. You did it
Oh,
both
double
hands.
fist bumps.
Double.
Double fist pumps facing towards the mouth.
But when he was turned to side, bro, it looked.
Bro, he just did the double grip this time. That was crazy.
What are they teaching you in
5-2?
weight training, bro?
5-2 Knowles. Let's go. What inning? Bottom of the 8th?
Uh-oh.
Let's fucking go. Damn.
So Tarek Skubal could have won another inning, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm with the fans.
Okay, so what are we thinking? 16-team playoff, yay or nay?
Yeah, why not?
All right. I'm sure that's what all the commissioners are thinking as well. Why not? I think
Fuck
Greg Sankey, like, okay, there's obviously, if it does happen, everybody's going to be like, wow, let's go. And then it'll happen and it will suck for the
They're gonna
first
be
year.
like, why not 24?
Exactly. That is exactly what is going to happen. We're going to get to 16 and everybody's going to be like, no, expand more.
Because whoever's that 17th
Exactly, dude.
on the outside looking in,
When fucking
Ole Miss
Georgia Tech doesn't make it in because they're on the borderline and Brent Key is fucking barking up the tree of everybody at the end of the year, I guess we just have to deal with that. If we've got fucking Rhett Lashley, like he was for SMU, on the selection show, being like, I don't know why my team wouldn't make it, and then all of a sudden they make it. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why we can't just be okay with the way that college football's played.
I miss the BCS days.
I do too. I miss the BCS.
I miss the days when it was just you take the best 2 teams and then they just go head to head.
Exactly. And then everybody else can cry about it if they want, but cry to the fucking computers, bro.
People.
When teams actually wanted to go out and win their bowl games, not worried about.
Bro, we should just have the Chat GPT championship. You just put it, the fucking, whoever we appoint as the commissioner of college football says,
Josh Pate's going to have a hard.
don't get me fucking started on Pate State, dude. Fuck no.
Who's gonna play in the Snapchat AI bowl?
yeah, we just have different AI being like, okay, who's the best team? But it starts with Chat GPT at the top.
No,
they get the top 2 teams, and then we go down in AI from there. So you got the Grok championship. you got the Google VO championship.
AI
they
draft.
make the video.
They gotta draft what teams they want.
Oh yeah, the different AIs draft the teams for their bowl game.
It's like a fantasy football draft, but you're drafting teams.
Yeah, and then we just put those
all.
on.
Will decides champion again.
Nah,
like we did for a million years.
Nah, the AP's stupid. BCS is better. The computers have gotten better.
Exactly.
Why'd we go away from it right before AI?
Exactly. Right before being 20 years.
Let's get a second and short bowl.
Because, the problem, though, is if we turn the BCS computer into AI, it's going to learn what teams it likes.
So Georgia's going to be
and all of a sudden, Notre Dame's going to start making the championship.
No. They worship.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the computers don't like that. Yeah. Texas A&M has no chance.
Texas Tech, though.
Texas Tech's got a chance. All the tech schools start making the Chat GPT championship game.
Polytech.
Yeah, Cal Polytech makes it, bro. Let's go.
Years?
I don't even know. I can't keep up. Don't look that up. We're ending this episode.
Pacific Coast Academy.
Yeah. Shout out Pepperdine. Shout out Pete Crow Armstrong as well. All right, we're gonna wrap things up here. This was a fun episode. That college football discussion got a little off the rails, but hey, it was a blast. It was a blast. Thanks to Ethan for filling in on the 1s and 2s. Pretty poorly, I might add, but he was here.
Shit to do, man.
Yeah, whatever. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe here. You turn on post notifications. You got to check out Sports Wavelength on Wednesday. Obviously, we also have Luke's Premier League Team of the Season dropping Tuesday. So you got a lot to check out. So make sure you subscribe and you turn on post notifications so you know
that
exactly
wavelength is going to be something different.
Yeah, I let all the boys see it. They were a part of the video, and they all were like, that was enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
Which is a huge thing because it's kind of hard to watch something back that you lived.
Yeah. That's why I hardly listen to these is because one thing, I hate listening to myself talk.
Which is fair. I've gotten used to it after, I think this is episode 258.
Like, I'll get in the car with Nathan. Nathan will be listening to it. I'm like, turn this shit off.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen to music.
No, I know. Nathan just listens to this podcast. We should start brainwashing him through this.
Like,
I think I just blew I
can we label him a psycho yet or no?
I think we might have to have him here to discuss
Seems
that.
like crazy sneak.
Nathan, if you're listening to this, I think
he's
you're
gonna
a psycho.
hear this in like a week.
Yeah.
he's probably laying in bed listening to it right now, being all sick.
He might be. All right. Well, make sure you're following us on Instagram and TikTok so you can see all of our short form content over there. And make sure if you're on the podcast platforms, which is probably just Nathan at this point, make sure you rate 5 stars and give us a follow. Colin, got something for us?
I do.
All right. Ethan, you're already unmuted. Perfect. We've got Would You Rathers now at the end of these episodes.
Yeah.
So nice and easy with this first one. So I got no money limitations on this one.
Okay.
Would you rather own your dream house or own your dream car?
Dream house. I think that's the easiest.
I've asked a lot of people and I've gotten very split answers.
I'm not a car guy.
Yeah, I'm not a car guy. We've had this discussion before. Early days of questions time, Nathan asked, like, what's your dream car? And I was like, I don't know, like a decked out like Silverado.
I think that's where it comes in. You have guys who are like all about cars and automobiles where they would take their dream car over a dream house.
Yeah, they're like, dude, I want a fucking Miata that's scraping the ground.
I need a shit box.
But if I was to answer, I want to design my own dream house and everything like that.
Yeah, dude. I do
get
that in
so
bed
much
at
more
night.
out of a house than a car.
Well, that if I have my dream house, I know I make enough to have a
Yeah.
nice car.
Well, yeah, but okay. Well, then let's say that would you rather? It's like the fucking
well-
Bugatti in the fucking trailer park meme.
okay, would you
Would
rather,
you rather have that,
a
or
very-
would you rather have like a beautiful house and you drive like just
shit box?
Not even just a shit
John
box,
Cena
like
drives you like
a
a
fucking like 2001 like Camry with no fucking like hubcaps on it.
I was thinking like a busted up Honda Civic.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
I would
would
still
you,
take my dream car or
dream house.
Dream
Yeah.
house.
Oh yeah, dude.
four-door
Look, I
car.
just got to get from A to B.
That and I can park it in the garage so when they drive by the house, no one fucking sees it.
Yeah, exactly. And if I'm just getting from A to B in that thing, at least A is really nice.
100%.
B's the worst place.
Yeah, the B, the B is a problem.
I can only
when I pull
afford
up to
the
Whole
house.
Foods, I pull up to Whole Foods in the beat up Civic.
Nah, bro, you're going to like Lidl.
Yeah,
I can't afford anything but the house.
Yeah, I have the house, so I can't afford anything else. All right, what's the next? Would you
Okay.
rather?
So next, we're going back to baseball.
Okay.
Would you rather face Randy Johnson
No.
I'm scared where this is going.
or
No.
would you rather pitch against Barry Bonds?
Oh,
Uh,
I'm gonna be honest. I think I could live with just giving up a home run to Barry Bonds.
I could.
I think I would
no,
live with striking
I could
out
live
to
with
Randy
striking out
Johnson.
to-
No, it's not that part. It's the part where his shit is running down my leg when he throws a fastball on the inside.
Or when that slider comes at my dick.
Yeah,
exactly. When that slider looks like it's about to hit me in the ass, and it hits the far left corner of the batter's box or the
I'm
strike
taking
zone.
facing Randy Johnson because Randy Johnson or Barry Bonds has hit home runs off the best of the best.
Yeah,
I don't give two shits if he hits a home run off me.
that's fair.
But Randy Johnson struck out every.
I'm just I thought you were gonna say Randy Johnson or Bob Gibson. That would have been the hypothetical for me, and
Yeah.
I would not.
There's
know
a
where
bunch
to
of
go.
pitchers I could have
Bro,
fucking
because
paired
like
it up
Bob
with.
Gibson dominated Hank Aaron.
They had to lower the map.
Yeah, they literally had to change the mound for Bob Gibson. He was so good.
I watched a video. He's
Yeah, he's scary. I think I could just like with Randy Johnson. I think it's just the fact that he's throwing so hard.
He's
He's
so
also
tall,
like
so he gets
6'11".
so he
Yeah, his
just steps
extension's
off
crazy.
the mound when
Yeah.
he pitches.
But like,
He's
I think that's
releasing
so much more scary than just me throwing like 60 shit to fucking Barry Bonds, and he puts that
throw
thing in the
one
cove.
good sinker and it goes
Yeah.
into
McCovey Cove.
That and Randy Johnson didn't know where the ball was going, so that would make me
Exactly.
terrifying as well.
Exactly. He killed a bird. He'd easily kill me. I'm no stronger than that bird.
Dude, that bird's fucking evaporated. Bro.
Yeah, dude, that shit's crazy. Shout out to that softball player
Yeah.
that hit the piece of dirt that got knocked off her cleat. And shout out to the commentator.
Dude, that watching that slow mo was funny as fuck.
It was awesome. But shout out to the commentator that said it hit it. It hitted the dirt off her cleat.
We all make mistakes.
I mean,
Not
did
on
you hear how
national
many times I
television.
fucked up today?
It's kind of an every Sunday thing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's in every podcast.
Yeah, but think Sunday is the end of the week. Like
Trust me. I mean, I worked for like 9 hours today.
I golfed all day yesterday, and I'm just tired.
Oh no.
God damn. Worked your ass off.
My life
bro.
sucks.
Last week.
All right.
This motherfucker's on summer
Ethan's on
break.
summer
My
break.
one
I mean,
week,
yeah, he's
bro.
got 1 week, and he's got one more week later in the summer, and then that's
Yeah,
it.
July 4th, and then I don't have a break till November.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
And
the
you have a
grind.
break forever.
It's the grind of being a student athlete.
Yeah.
Student first.
No,
Student first, athlete second,
athlete.
person third, human being third.
Not wrong.
Yeah. All right, guys, please enjoy the week. Make sure you catch some college baseball. Make sure you catch some MLB baseball. There's nothing to watch anywhere else, so you
Hey,
might as
finals
well.
starting.
Yeah. Yeah,
Thursday.
everybody, the two
it
biggest
Pace-
markets in the nation, Oklahoma City and Indianapolis.
Hey, it's good basketball though.
It's
want-
great
I
basketball.
want SGA to take it all.
Shout out to Halaban. All right, that'll be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We're getting out of here.
Bye. Bye. Love you.
Ethan just brought up the Halle band. We're out of here. All right, guys. Enjoy the week. We'll catch you guys on Tuesday and Wednesday and Friday this week. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Peace.